My friends, I'm back in Greece for this video. I traveled to Athens to share the stage with a friend and colleague of mine. And I thought it would be cool to make a video while I am here because I really enjoy making videos outside. Today's message is one that we've all heard many times before. In fact, most of you are probably rolling your eyes right now because you know exactly what I'm about to tell you. But I still think it's important to say because not enough people take this advice seriously. Most of us have a general idea of what our goals are, but few actually go after them with everything they've got. We drift through life like tumbleweeds in the desert, blown around by circumstance and the whims of fate. We all have dreams, but very few people turn their dreams into reality. The primary reason why most people never achieve their dreams is simple. It's the same reason why most New Year's resolutions fail. Most people don't have an actionable plan, so their efforts fizzle out by February. So today, I want to talk about how to fix that. How do we get from wishing to having? How do we go from dreamers to doers? I'm going to give you 3 actionable steps that you can use to control your destiny. No, one is self-awareness. You must first understand yourself, your strengths, weaknesses, limitations, and potential. Until you know who you are, you can't really know where you're going or how to get there. And there are 2 key aspects of self-awareness that I want to discuss, which brings me to number 1, and is self-awareness of your ego. Our ego wants us to believe we're better than we are. It convinces us that we're invincible and unstoppable. It tells us that nothing is impossible for us. Fortunately, that's just not true. There are things that I can't do. There are things that you can't do. There are things that no one can do. It's important to identify what you're good at and what you're bad at. One of my favorite quotes comes from the ancient Greek poet Homer. No man will ever know his own true strength until, being compelled, he puts himself to the test. You will never realize how much you can accomplish unless you push yourself beyond your perceived limits. Most of us vastly overestimate our abilities and severely underestimate the amount of work required to achieve our goals. You can only get better through deliberate practice. Practice doesn't make perfect. Deliberate practice does. You can't just throw spaghetti at the wall and hope something sticks. Every great accomplishment requires focus, hard work, and determination. Take a look at some of the most successful people in the world and see if you notice a trend. They didn't just fall into success, they worked for it tooth and nail. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is almost always preparation and work ethic. If you want to master your destiny, you must temper your ego and accept your limitations. You must understand what you're good at and what you're bad at, and you must find ways to improve your weaknesses. That way, you'll know what you're capable of and what you need to do to reach your goals. Now, the second aspect of self-awareness is self-reflection. This is the ability to honestly evaluate yourself. Most of us are biased towards ourselves. We're too hard on others, but too easy on ourselves. There's a saying in Chinese, "He who knows and knows that he knows is wise. Pursue wisdom." That means you must have a clear understanding of both your strengths and weaknesses. Many of you are strong, but you don't recognize your strength. Many of you are smart, but you don't recognize your intelligence. Many of you are talented, but you don't recognize your talent. Instead, you spend your time trying to convince yourself that you're stupid, weak, or worthless. Why do you do that? Why do you fight against yourself? Self-reflection is an honest evaluation of who you are and what you bring to the table. It's the cornerstone of self-awareness. It allows you to get to know yourself. It helps you determine where you want to go and how you'll get there. Without self-reflection, you're like a ship without a rudder. You're at the mercy of the winds and waves. Self-reflection is what gives you the ability to control your destiny. It's the only way to figure out what you really want. And I know what some of you are thinking. I already know what I want. I want to be rich. I want to be famous. I want to be successful. Okay, that's not self-reflection. It's delusional thinking. Being rich, famous, and successful aren't things. They're states of being. When was the last time you reflected on your values, beliefs, and principles? When was the last time you took an honest look at yourself and asked yourself why you're redoing what you're redoing? What do you really want and why? Which brings me to know. 2. Self-discipline. Self-mastery is about taking complete responsibility for yourself. It's about having the discipline to do what needs to be done, even when you do and feel like doing it. It's about staying committed to your goals no matter what obstacles stand in your way. Mastering yourself is a constant battle between your conscious and subconscious mind. Your conscious mind knows what you need to do, but your subconscious mind often resists. Self-discipline is the force that overcomes resistance. It's the ability to delay gratification in the pursuit of greater rewards. Self-discipline isn't punishing yourself. It's rewarding yourself. By practicing self-discipline, you train your mind to stay focused on what really matters. You build the mental fortitude necessary to overcome any obstacle. Remember that the goal of self-mastery is freedom. Freedom to live life on your own terms. Discipline enables you to break free from societal norms and expectations. It allows you to forge your own path in life. When you have self-discipline, you can't be controlled by anyone or anything, because you've mastered yourself. You've mastered your destiny. Do you think the ancient Spartans were disciplined? Of course they were. Spartan society was built on self-discipline. From the time they were born, Spartan boys were subjected to a rigorous training regimen designed to make them into the ultimate warriors. They were whipped if they cried. They were taught to steal. Food had to be earned. Everything was a competition. This level of discipline is obviously extreme, but the point remains. Discipline is essential if you want to become your best self. If you want to achieve your goals, you must be willing to put in the work. Are you willing to do whatever it takes? Are you willing to sacrifice for your goals? Are you willing to deny yourself short-term pleasure for long-term gain? If you are, then you're on the right track. Now, number 3, self-action. Knowledge is power, but only if you use it. A fool with a tool is still a fool. No matter how much information you consume, it's useless unless you put it to use. Self-action is about taking the knowledge and information you've acquired and putting it to work. It's about translating theory into practice. If you want to master your destiny, you can't just sit around and wait for things to happen. You have to make things happen. Remember, knowledge by itself is not power. Knowledge combined with action is power. You could read all the books on business and finance in the world, but if you never start a business, you'll never become wealthy. You could learn all the techniques to improve your physique, but if you never lift a weight, you'll never become strong. You could study all the strategies for success, but if you never take action, you'll never be successful. Action is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's the only way to make progress. Too many people get stuck in analysis paralysis. They overthink everything. They're afraid to make decisions. But if you want to master your destiny, you can't let fear control you. You have to take action despite your fears. You have to be willing to fail. Failure is a stepping stone to success. It's a necessary part of the journey. Don't be afraid to take risks. Don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone. That's where the real growth happens. That's where the magic happens. When you take action, you open yourself up to new possibilities. You create your own opportunities. You become the master of your own destiny. So those are the 3 steps to self-mastery: self-awareness, self-discipline, and self-action. When you combine these 3, you become unstoppable. Now I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this video? What are some other ways to master your destiny? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and join us for more videos. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.